A group of white people met online via Twitter, they got together, and now they are starting a whites-only town in rural Arkansas. And just wait until you guys see and hear what this place looks like. And I want you guys to give me your honest opinions in the comments. But before we get to that, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. And of course, check out hashtag Rainford Network in the comments to stay up to date and never miss a video.
My name's Nikki, N-I-K-I, I'm 32. I'm a lady.
This is Return to the Land, a group of millennials who organised online to build something radical and controversial. A town for white people only, that they insist is completely legal. We spent several days with them, watching as the men set about the physical labour of building out the site. All the while, the women of the group took on the more typically trad, homesteading type roles.
I guess I found the people through Twitter that ended up starting this project, actually spearheading it. And I went out to the first April event last year, and it was really fun.
The sort of white-only aspect of this, how important is that to you guys?
Given the premise that it's something that is kind of off limits for whites but is okay by implication for other groups, I do feel it's necessary to carve that out.
I don't understand what she means. There's so many whites-only towns in America. They even have names for them. They're called sundown towns, right? Where black people aren't allowed in that town past a certain time. I don't understand what she means. White people, y'all swear y'all so oppressed. Y'all make the rules in this country. I don't understand. Jesus Christ, I don't know what they be talking about. I really don't.
And you kind of have to do it yourself.
It's kind of like if we don't do this, the laws are only getting worse as far as freedom of association goes. So it's kind of like we have to do this.
Freedom of association? Just say that you don't like other races. Yo, white people, you guys have a talent of renaming racial slurs and racial phrases into politically correct and just say what it is. We don't like I don't want to say the full racial slur, but you guys know what I mean. Just say it.
Or there might come a time where it's not possible to.
Are you guys aware sort of people are going to be watching, it's going to be controversial?
I think people just have a large misunderstanding of what's happening here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's the biggest misunderstanding?
Well,
That we hate everyone else. Like,
yeah.
It's not about that by any means.
It's a loving movement.
I mean, on that aspect of it being loving, I suppose the counter argument would be it could be a very loving community if you're part of the community, but if you're black, or if you're Jewish, or if you're gay, you can't be part of that community.
They can have their own communities, and they already do, and I think that's great for them.
Anytime black people try to start their own community the way you guys are attempting to start your own community, people that look like you, they came and burned it down. So that isn't true. And I'll let you talk about the LGBTQIA, but that's still one big community. It's not one specific race. But speaking specifically for black people, anytime black people try to start their own thing, people who look like you guys came and burned it down.
It's like if other people are allowed to do it, I don't really see why whites aren't allowed to do it. It doesn't make any sense. So it's important for me to do this for my ancestors, my friends, my family, my children, my children's children.
The leader, Eric Orwell, wants the community to grow and further what he calls traditional white American culture. And the group is explicit about this. It has an online fundraiser to give cash rewards to parents of newborns as a means to incentivize population growth. Just before we arrived, they donated $1,000 to a family for having their 6th child.
Is that part of the mission as well, to sort of have big families, to make the community bigger? Is there a sort of pressure there?
I don't feel particularly myself, I don't feel any pressure to like have a big family. I think there's a kind of expectation here that you do want to, as part of helping grow this thing, that you're going to have kids.
Alright, so that was the clip, but personally, I don't have a big issue with this. Right? I don't see a big issue with this. I really don't. If they want to go off and do their own thing and have their own little community, that's fine. You know, I personally think blacks did better when we were segregated. You know, that's just my opinion, right? We was much better off before we integrated. You know, and this is not to say that I hate white people. I don't hate anybody of any race, but that's just my opinion. Black people were better off before we integrated. If you look at the numbers, you will see what I'm talking about. Do your own independent research. But anyway, this is a perfect remedy to gentrification. You know, let them go off and start their own community. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't see no issue with segregation. Like I said, black people were better when we were segregated. But my question is, right, how long until you guys are like inbreeding? Because you know how y'all get down. Y'all like to mess with your own siblings and shit. That's your thing. So it's only a matter of time before that happens, in my opinion. But like I said, I personally feel like all you racists on Twitter who don't like black people, there's a place for you guys now, and I don't see no issue with it. You know, I've seen some people online, they had issues with it. But I'm all for it. So I support you guys. You know, you guys don't want to be around black people. We don't want you around us anyway. You know, the ones who want to be around us, you're welcome. But the ones who don't, you go, well, you know. And I don't see no issue with that. There's nothing wrong with people wanting to be with people like them. I don't see no problem with that. You know, my only issue is that this is black people specifically. Black people, we don't do this enough, right? We are so inclusive. We need to be like that, in my opinion. You know, we're always inviting someone to the cookout. Black people need to start looking out for black people, and we don't. We look out for every other race better than we look out for each other. And I just think that we need to fix that, because no other race really likes black people like that. If you look into social media, if you look at the world, they emulate us for sure. They copy our culture, they copy the way we talk, all that. They copy all of that. But black people as a whole, they don't really rock with us. Even Africans who look like us but don't really rock with us either. But that's a whole nother video. But anyway, let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. I am out of here.